Hazrat Samura bin Jundab reports, when the Prophet ﷺ would finish his prayer, he ﷺ would face us and said, "Have any one of you seen a dream tonight?" If anyone had seen the dream, he would narrate it. So he ﷺ would say whatever Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wished. One day he ﷺ asked us, "Have any one of you seen a dream?" We replied in the negative. He ﷺ said, "Tonight I saw that two men came to me and holding my hand took me to the sacred land, Jerusalem. There a man was sitting while the other was standing, and he had a piece of iron in his hand. Some of our companions have reported from Moosa that there was a piece of iron whom he inserted in his jaw, and it reached the jawbone. Then he did the same with the other side, while the first one healed up. Then again he did the same." I said, "What is this?" Both of them said, "Move on." We went ahead till we reached a man who was lying flat on his back, and another man was standing by his head carrying a pestle or a stone with which he crushed the other one's head. When he struck him, the stone rolled away. He went to pick it up, and by the time he returned to him, his head would heal up, as it was before. He again returned to him and struck him in the same way. I said, "Who is he?" Both of them said, "Proceed ahead." We proceeded until we reached near a pit like a clay oven that was narrow from the top and wide at the bottom. The fire was blazing underneath that hole. When the fire surged up, the people would come near to get out, and when it got quieter, they would go down. All the men and women were naked in it. I said, "What is it?" Both of them said, "Move on." We moved ahead till we reached a canal of blood, and a man was standing in the middle of it. Yazid bin Harun and Wahab bin Jarir have said, with the reference of Jarir bin Hazim, there was a man on the bank of the canal and stones were there in front of him. When the man in the canal moved ahead and wanted to come out, this man threw a stone at his face and caused him to retreat to his former place. Whenever he intended to come out, he would throw a stone at his face and caused him return to his former place. I said, "What is this?" Both of them said, "Move ahead." We moved ahead till we reached a lush green garden. There was a huge tree in it, and near its root was sitting an old man and some children, whereas a man was making a fire in front of him near the tree. Both of them took me and climbed the tree and took me inside such a beautiful house as I had never seen before. There were old and young men, women, and children in it. Then they took me out of that house and holding me climbed the tree. So they made me enter such a house which was extremely beautiful and imposing. There were the old and the young inside it. I said, "You have made me ramble all the night, so tell me all about I have seen." They said, "Okay. As for the one whose jaws you saw being torn, he was a great liar. He used to tell lies, and the people would report those lies everywhere in the world. So he will be treated like that till the day of resurrection. The one whose head you saw being crushed was a person whom Allah Jalla Jalaluhu had made to learn the Quran. But in spite of it, he would sleep all night and would not act accordingly during the day. He will be treated in the same way till the day of resurrection. And those you saw in the pit were fornicators, and the one whom you saw in the canal was usury eater, one who deals in usury. And the old man whom you saw sitting near the root of tree was Hazrat Ibrahim, and around him were sitting his progeny. And the one who was making fire was Malik, the gatekeeper of hell. And the first house you entered was the house of the common Muslims, and the second one was of all the martyrs. I am Gabriel, and this is Michael. Raise your head. I raised my head, and there was something like a cloud over me. Both of them said, "This is your residence." I said, "Let me enter my house." Both of them said, "Still you have some life which you have not yet completed." When you complete that, you may come to your dwelling. Sahih Bukhari, Hadith number 1386.